What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBot Solutions. I hope that you guys are all having an amazing Tuesday, and I hope you guys like that thumbnail because that's pretty much how I felt when it came down to losing a little bit over $1,000 today. I'm going to show you guys my screen. I'm going to show you exactly what it is that I lost $1,000 on. I'm going to talk about my mistake, what led to like my red day. Yesterday I was up a little bit over 700, which puts me at like a loss of about $300 for the week. So definitely we still have 3 days left, a lot of opportunity to recover. The funny thing actually, and I talked about it, Ishmael's right over there moderating the chat, but one thing that we talked about before I continue is that these videos, when I talk about my losses, always do so much better than when I talk about my profits. So if I post a video like showing my profits of like $1,500, $2,000, whatever the case might be, first of all, the likes are not even that high and the views are not that great. But when it comes down to taking a loss, everyone's just like, oh my God, Ricky, you're the best. I'm just like, I personally don't get that. So I'm super happy to hear that you guys like these videos, but definitely it doesn't feel the best, right? It's very discouraging. I mean, I've done this for a while, so it's very easy for me to just continue moving forward. But I can definitely see like how someone can make sense of why I just gave back $1,000, and I feel very uncomfortable and very discouraged. And that's some of the things that I'm going to talk about today, regardless if it's $1,000, even $50. Like just knowing that I just gave back like a $50 bill, just losing $50, like that's very discouraging. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that, how I overcome it, and I hope it can better guide you in the right direction. If it does, I'd really appreciate the thumbs up. But altogether, again, I hope you guys know that I'm not the only person that you can learn from on YouTube. I am the largest YouTube channel when it comes down to investing in the stock market. We have a little bit over 360,000 subscribers. We run the largest private trading community out there called TechBot Solutions, a little bit over 160,000 members. We would love to be a part of your success if you see value in us, and it's that third link in the description. And in just a little bit, or just a little while ago, when I went live with the Learn Plan Profit group, they got to watch me trade live this morning, and I was actually up. So although I'm down $1,000 on the day, I actually lost about $1,300 because I was up about $300 on DGAS as I took my original position. So that's the upsetting part. But yeah, so I'm going to start sharing my screen so you guys can see exactly what it is that I'm looking at. I'll show you guys here right now my active trader. So it shows that I'm down about $1,000, $1,012. You guys can see that I still have an open position on it. I'm calling it a loss because I did cut losses and then I re-entered, and that was my decision. I see value in this as a potential swing trade, and that's why I'm making this video a little bit later throughout the day. Usually if I talk about myself entering a swing trade, we get especially during the market open, so many other people will follow just trying to mimic my trades. Just know that there is no full-on confirmation on DGAS. DGAS is still showing signs of a downtrend pattern. So why is it that I'm taking a position on DGAS? On the 180-day chart, looking a little bit closer, you can see that DGAS is offering a very aggressive descending pattern, right? But one of the things that I've noticed is that with /NG tends to pull back, right? And it tends to pull back down to about the EMA line, and then it continues to uptrend. First of all, it's super overextended on the RSI indicator. The MACD is due for a potential reversal, but again, it is a matter of time that it will take for it to pull back. So I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow. And again, one of the things, if you don't understand risk and if you don't feel comfortable taking a position before the confirmation, don't take one at all, right? If you guys can see my position size on DGAS itself, as of right now, it's 1,000 shares, meaning that it's about, I have, what is it, about $16,000, a little bit less than $16,000 invested in DGAS. I normally trade with anywhere from $15,000 to $30,000. So this is, I would like to call it about a 50% position. So my risk, just in case it continues to sell off, is much less just because I'm not fully invested in it. But tomorrow, if it confirms a reversal, I can either lock in profits or add more to my position if I like the way that it's trending. So I simply wanted to share that. One of my biggest mistakes for the day on the 1 day, 1 minute chart is, again, I thought it was showing signs of an uptrend pattern at around, when it hit around $17 is where I locked in profits in that Learn Plan Profit live stream. It pushed up to highs of, what is that? A little bit above, or very close to that $17 price point. And one thing that I noticed was that all day yesterday it was getting rejected by this SMA indicator, and I really found it very attractive that it was showing signs of an uptrend, trading in between originally the middle and top view up, showing me signs of an uptrend. And as soon as I got my hopes up, it started to fully reverse. /NG made this full-on reversal again. This was showing signs of a downtrend. So this is right around where the market opened, around 6:30, right? Started showing signs of a downtrend, and then all of a sudden broke above the middle VWAP, broke above the SMA, pushed up to the top VWAP, bounced, and then just continued to ride the EMA line. Very aggressive. It's almost like a very similar pattern to JNUG, right? But if you look at /GC today, just riding that EMA line, really showing an aggressive push today for both /GC and /NG. So tomorrow is Wednesday, and tomorrow is the crude oil report, and then the day that follows is the natural gas report. So just providing you guys that update. So just wanted to, my biggest mistake was after it broke below the middle VWAP, the struggle to cut losses. I thought that it was going to show signs of a reversal. I wanted to give /NG a little bit more time, for it to potentially get rejected at around 315 based on previous highs. It just continued to push up, and I ended up almost like bag holding at that point. But then I cut losses. It continues to sell off a little bit, and actually I was down in total about $1,800 on the day. But one thing that I started to do was I started to buy the dips and sell the peaks. I got myself out of that hole and down to the, $1,000 loss in total. So I did take a couple trades to try to recover some of the losses. But, you win some, you lose some. And today I definitely lost some. So I just wanted to provide you guys an update with how it is that I did today. I actually wasn't actively trading too much. I saw my mistake that I made was in the very beginning of the day, and all I was doing was playing catch up throughout the remainder of the day. So I'm going to provide you guys an update with my overall position as the week goes on if I end up holding it. So again, I did lose the $1,000 today. I am still invested in DGAS. So when I posted my loss in the Discord chat, right? I posted it both in the profit section. Here we go. So I posted it. So oh, that's not mine. That's profits. Yeah. So it's not me today. Posted my loss, right? And my overall position of what I was down a little bit over $1,000. And I just wanted to update everyone on my position, how I was holding. And a lot of people brought up, well, I'm still holding it, so it's not really a loss. It kind of is because I cut losses and then I re-entered, so that's kind of my loss for the day. So everything that I make moving on forward, other than like the $9 that I'm currently down right now, would be my net profits moving on forward. So just something that I wanted to follow up with, wanted to provide you guys a quick little update. I broke one of my biggest rules, and it's not cutting losses quick enough when it comes down to showing signs of a descending pattern. When it broke below the middle VWAP and when it broke below the SMA indicator, that's that green line that you saw there, it started showing signs of a downtrend. And regardless if that was a previous, one thing that I like to do is I like to wait for a break of support or break of pattern. And one of the things that I could have done a little bit better is cut losses right away as I saw it break below the middle VWAP. I could have managed my risk a lot greater on that. I probably would have broke even based on the previous profits that I made. But it didn't play according to my plan today. Again, you win some, you lose some. I had a day, or on Friday last week, I think I cleared a little bit over $1,500 profit. And then on Monday, a little bit over $700. Today, a little bit under $1,000 when it comes down to the losses. So today was a loss. Yesterday was green. Friday was green. And it's just, I could have done a better job managing risk. So what I wanted to... Okay, so again, a lot of positive feedback that I'm getting from people that are watching this video right now, and it's 100%. So there's a couple mistakes that I want to talk about. I told you guys that I'm going to talk about emotions, and this is it. So I really do hope that, I do this every day, right? And I've done this for a very long period of time. So it's almost second nature to me. It's one of the worst feelings, and I still get it. I get that nasty gut feeling where I could just see it going in the red, right? I know that DGAS, how many of you guys go through this psychological war, right? When it comes down to I know DGAS is super oversold. Same thing when I was trading TNDM. I know TNDM is super oversold. It's showing signs of a descending pattern. I know it's only a matter of time for it to reverse, but I think of two things. First of all, yes, I can hold and hope that it reverses back up because, again, it doesn't necessarily have to. Just because it has, or in previous patterns, yes, it means that it can, and it most likely will, but it doesn't mean that it has to. And that's kind of scary, the idea of not knowing, right? And then the second thing is if I don't cut losses quick enough, right, and I bag hold this, and yes, it is only a matter of time for it to reverse, I miss out on every other opportunity that I can take advantage of in the meanwhile, right? Let's say TNDM and DGAS still continue to descend for 2-3 weeks, right? And I end up just digging myself more into the hole. And during that time, I could have cut losses quicker and have traded something that was showing more signs of an uptrend. Again, focusing on what's actively trending up. If you guys watched yesterday's video on the 3 stages of a reversal, focusing on what's confirming an uptrend rather than focusing on the rejection or consolidation phase. It makes sense, right? And that feeling that you get, that nasty like gut feeling where you're just like, oh my goodness, I don't even want to continue with my day. I just gave back so much of my profits that I worked very hard for. And if you guys watch my videos, I've had days where I clear over $2,000 profit and consistently, right? 1,000, 2,000, and yes, it's much easier for me now to psychologically like overcome these obstacles, but I can definitely see why someone, when they're just getting started, have a difficult time giving back, some of the money that you guys worked very hard for to, when you guys made money in the stock market, but then giving it back because you bag held. How many of you guys have done that? 1 to 2 weeks, you grew your account 5 to 10%, and then just in one trade, just because you didn't manage your risk or you didn't cut losses quick enough, right? Maybe you traded based on other people's opinion, you got a little bit emotional, and you just give it all back, and you're just like, oh my goodness, I just put 2 weeks worth of time, work, and effort, and it's completely gone because of the dumbest mistake that I've just made. And again, it's not the dumbest mistake that you can make, right? You understand what you did wrong, you bag held. One thing that we can do a little bit quicker, and it's something that you will have to refine as time goes on, is just being able to manage risk along the way. And if you feel like you're just not at that place, sometimes when I get a little bit too emotional, and if I have like consistent red days, sometimes something that I have to remind myself is maybe I need to take smaller position sizes. Maybe I just need to, again, get my confidence. This is actually something that I talked about in the Learn, Plan, Profit live stream today, is someone talked about feeling very discouraged and feeling very uncomfortable because they've had so many consistent red days to take another swing trade position. And one thing, an approach, and I talked about this multiple times before, is first of all, there's the option for paper trading, right? A lot of people don't like that. For those that are very hard-headed and don't want to paper trade, instead of focusing on trying to actually make money in the market, focus on just building your confidence and encouraging yourself that you know how to identify patterns. So instead of taking a 500, 200, 500 or 1,000 share position on whatever it is that you are trading with your big account, or regardless of how small your account is, focus, especially if you have Robinhood, since there's no commissions, just buy one share. And focus on, again, still meeting all your criteria, where you're entering, where you're exiting, where you're cutting your losses, but build your confidence. So regardless if you make money on that trade or not, again, all you're doing is paying for the commission, but the biggest thing that you're focusing on is removing all emotions away from it and solely focusing on actually trading that specific stock or pattern. And I think that would make a lot more sense. Completely removing all emotions, forgetting about how much money you can make, and actually just proving to yourself that you can do this. And at that point, in that position, in that situation that you can put yourself, you could be that much more reassured that, wow, yes, I can actually do this. And I just need to focus a little bit more and trade with maybe a little bit less money. And as time goes on, yes, you can maybe then trade with a little bit more money. Then yes, maybe you can, be a little bit more risky. So a lot of people talk to me that are just getting started. Ricky, why did you take a position on something like DGAS? Why do you still continue to trade TNDM? It's because I see value in a way that, I explain it in a way on the YouTube channels to be a little bit more conservative. But I also, again, I've traded a little bit longer than a majority of people that are within our group, right? And that doesn't mean that gives me the right to trade this. It just means that I'm willing to take a little bit more risk, but that doesn't mean that it's right. Just because I take a position doesn't mean that you have to as well. And that's something that we all have to understand. Every person that you watch on YouTube, every person that you hear about and their success, we all manage and experience risk in a different way. And we're all in different positions. We all have to understand that. So if your goal is to make $100 a day, even $50 a day, right? Regardless of what it is, understand that we're all in different positions, and that is a goal to get there. It doesn't mean that you're going to be there in 1 week, in 1 month, in 5 months. It's going to take time. And if that's not something that you're willing to invest, then maybe the stock market isn't for you. But if you're willing to invest to actually learn a little bit more about how to actually make sense of your trades, be able to not necessarily predict patterns, but being able to understand them and how they work, then that is exactly what we cover in the Learn, Plan, Profit lesson library. For anyone that's part of LPP, right? You guys are more than welcome to share your experience. And it's one thing that we stand behind. Yes, we make mistakes, we're human, right? But it's not only, I think, an amazing community to be a part of, but as well as when you have these bad days, you can just comment that you're having a bad day, the mistake that you made, and I can promise you there will be someone there to uplift you. And that's one of the, I think, biggest benefits and incentives that you experience within not only Learn, Plan, Profit, but TechBuds Solutions as well. And TechBuds is free. If you're struggling to stay motivated, if you're struggling to continue to, strive, even if it's not in the stock market, even if it's in real estate, something that we're not even like really invested in, I'm sure we have over 160,000 people within our private community. I can almost reassure you that you could even direct message me within Discord and I will speak to you. I respond to all my direct messages right within Discord. Please don't message me on Instagram. Please don't message me on Facebook. Just message me on Discord, and I would be more than happy to speak with you. If you keep it under 150 words, I can't stress that enough. We get thousands of messages every single day, and it's so difficult for me to go through them. We invest about 5 to now 6 hours every single day just responding to messages, and it's because I want to make sure that not only do we continue to stay motivated, but that you understand what you're investing in. And that's really what it's all about. So if you don't like my style of trading, don't worry about it. You don't have to join our group for that. But if you're struggling to stay motivated, or you just want to surround yourself with more motivated and like-minded individuals, then I would love to be a part of your success. So thank you guys again. Again, that first link in the description is for the Learn, Plan, Profit lesson library, where you get access to, for a lifetime, to the A to Z video lesson library, and you get to watch me trade live every single day. You get to direct message me, and I answer all your questions within 24 hours. And then we have the TechBuds Solutions free group, right? That's that third link in the description. So I wish you guys an amazing Tuesday. Let's focus on staying green. Let's not be a dingleberry and try to predict reversals. And let's make sure that we manage risk accordingly, that we're quick in cutting losses when we see that there's a break of pattern, and that we just focus on, what we're working towards in the future. If your goal is $25, $50, $100, regardless of what it is, set that as a goal, but make sure that you have sub goals to get there, right? That you maybe set a goal of maybe like $5, $10, $15. And again, maybe 6 months down the road, you can actually achieve that $50 goal. Just be realistic with yourself. Again, it's a snowball effect. Once you get the basics, once you build that foundation, it's going to be much easier for you to build off of. So again, hopefully we earned your thumbs up. Hopefully you guys subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I get the pleasure of speaking and working with you guys in the near future. Thank you guys again for your time.